I'll record it too. And first, before we do anything, you guys, class, these are the goals today with a compass and a straight edge. You're going to duplicate segments, duplicate angles, add angles, construct perpendicular bisectors, construct medians, and if we get to it, we'll do construct mid-segments.
Wait, could you go back?
I haven't done anything.
No, I mean like.
Okay, so it works best if you watch first and don't follow along with your compass, because you can't do both very well. But since I'm recording it, then you could try it. That's usually the way this works best. So what I'm thinking is I'm going to just go through these step by step, and then I'll record them, and then you guys can try them, and when you get stuck, we'll play the recording, and I can walk around and help. Connor.
Will this be on the test?
This will be a whole chapter test. This will not be on tomorrow's test.
Okay.
Right? Because this is a new chapter 3.
Finale.
Okay, so first thing. You guys ready? Okay. In your book, you're going to see segments. They usually label them so they can give you things to do. Like they might just ask you to duplicate segment AB. So, you know, I know this is going to seem so silly to you, but you can't use a ruler. So you can use a ruler, but you won't get credit for it. You have to use the compass. So you take your compass and you open it up, because this is a compass construction, and you place your compass on one end of segment A.
Oh boy.
Oh.
And then you see how wide it is from A to B, and you set your compass at that setting, and then you move your compass, and then you just move it. I'm going to duplicate it down here. So I'm just moving my compass. It's still the same width, and I'm going to duplicate it. So if I'm going to duplicate AB, usually what a lot of times you'll see is an A with a little tick mark to show that that A corresponds to this A up here. And then you put your compass on your new point A, and then you just swing an arc. And then label your new point B, and you just duplicated segment AB.
Oh my. Oh my.
So it's easy, but it gets way harder, so just deal with it. Jack.
Do you have to create like the arc?
You have to create the arc. Show the arcs, because that's how I grade your paper.
Exactly.
So the arcs are going to be all over the place.
Wait, is that because
Yes, it's to show me that you've used a compass and not a ruler.
why can't we
Because I said so?
Because that's not what we're
It's a construction. So, stop guys, stop, look, and listen. The term construct, remember in your book there's draw, sketch, and then there's construct. So when they say draw and use your tools, they mean rulers and protractors. When they say sketch, it's kind of freehand with labeling, marking congruent parts. When they say construct, they mean compass and straight edge. You guys in the back ready? Okay. So adding segments is, you know, a little bit.
Can you use your ruler?
No rulers. You can use the rulers as a straight edge.
Okay.
Yes.
That's what
I didn't listen very carefully. Okay. If I'm going to add segments or add and subtract segments, like maybe I want to do two, I'm going to do CD minus 2 times AB. So this is the kind of homework question you might see. Okay?
Oh my gosh.
Can you handle it, Jack?
That's pretty good.
Okay, so I'm going to have to copy segment CD first. So I'm just going to, and I wonder if my compass is going to stretch that far. Nope. So I have to change my CD a little bit.
Well, you could just make it bigger and the thing bigger.
The compass that, oh, I could.
That's a good idea.
Could I? Yeah. I don't know if I can, Matt. No.
I'll make it.
But yeah, there was a little down arrow.
So I'm gonna change this. I'm gonna make this 2AB, take away CD. Okay, so now there's my CD. So I just measure the opening of CD. And you guys, so that's it here. And I'm gonna, I need to start, if I switched, I'm gonna start with 2AB first. Do you guys see what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take the AB and I'm gonna mark it up twice on this bottom line here?
Oh, yeah.
Well, if you don't, let's watch and see if you can understand. So this is AB. Do you guys agree?
Yes, yes.
So I'm gonna just bring my compass down here and place it and then mark off with AB. But I'm gonna do it twice. So I've done 2AB. Understood?
Yeah.
Good. Now I have to go back to the top of the page and copy the length of CD. So I have to go back up here and get my compass to be the length of CD. So So I'm gonna, one thing about constructions is you always use your most recent arc. So my most recent arc is right here, and I'm gonna subtract backwards. So I'm gonna subtract, so I'm gonna go left and mark off my new value. So in a problem like this, I would then take a highlighter and highlight your final answer.
What's the final?
And this is, right here, that highlighted part is 2 times AB,
Minus C.
take away CD.
Wait a second, I'm confused. How did you do that bottom? I got it!
But the CD.
That's right, that's good.
What?
Do that again. So, where did I lose you? Did you get to 2AB?
I get how you, yeah, I got that.
So this is like 1AB right here, right?
Yeah.
And then this is the second AB. And then my compass right here, this setting that it shows right now is CD.
Right.
So I put my compass at the end of 2AB and I went back CD.
Oh, okay.
So I'm taking off that length of CD right here away from 2AB. But all that stuff I just did, if it were like a homework paper, what makes it really easy to read or test is then to highlight your final answer. Yeah, just the highlighted part. I put all the other stuff in so Abby could see my steps. Yeah, so you could just have this, right? That's enough just with the highlighted. Raise your hand if that makes sense. Okay, now raise your hand if you have questions. Jacob.
I don't get that bottom. Are you
Why is
looking
it so
backwards?
big?
Okay, so I'm gonna move on and then we'll go back. Let me just do a couple more and we'll come back to that.
Why'd you make it so big?
Yeah.
Because she could.
Why did I make what so big?
Oh, green line.
Okay.
So big.
Why don't you just make it like
The red one.
Because CD's longer.
No, they're saying why is the arc so big?
Oh, just because it just is.
I got it.
The arcs are not gonna, always look pretty. So you could use a little arc. Okay. Kate?
So in the book, if they have the second.
Okay, I'm gonna wait, Kate. So the question is, are you gonna be copying things from the book? This is, what we just did was a sample problem that you'll see in the book.
And so you'll measure it with the compass.
They'll give you something just like this, and you'll use your compass like I did, and you'll end up with something like this.
Okay.
And then they'll ask you to duplicate angles, so we're gonna do that next. So you still need a compass, and when they ask you to duplicate angles, you'll start with the book, and imagine that the top part here is the book. But usually in the book, you won't be drawing on the book. Leah, I'll answer your question in a minute. So it's a great question. When they ask you to duplicate angles in the book, they're already going to have an arc drawn for you, and it's usually in blue. And it just would be like that. And so you don't have to draw the arcs to begin with. Does that make sense? So I'm going to teach you how to duplicate an angle, and you need to put an arc there, like I just did. But the book puts them there for you, so you don't draw on the book. If I give you a worksheet, that blue arc isn't there, so you will draw on the worksheet. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, Leah, do you still have a question?
Yep.
Okay, Emily, then Benji.
So for the homework, do we have to like show the length of it before we figure it out, like write down the column?
No. For the homework, if we look back at this page, imagine that this is in the book, okay? And number 1 was to duplicate AB. This is what I would see on your paper.
Okay.
That's it. Yes, Benji.
The homework, it has a 12 and a star.
Does anybody remember what the 12 and the star was?
Really important.
The 12 is the review, so we're not going to do.
12 is review for tomorrow's test. Everything else is not on the test. Okay. So I would, going to teach you how to copy an angle. Ready?
Yes.
All right. So if you're going to copy an angle, let's call this angle A and call this angle B. And if I ask you to copy angle A, the first thing you would do is take your compass and put your compass on angle A and make that blue arc. But the book is going to have the blue arc for you, so you don't draw in the book. So you still need to take your compass and see how long the blue arc is. In other words, like, you're going to take your compass and you're going to adjust it to the length of the blue arc. I knew that was going to happen. So you have to change your opening to match the opening in the book. That's the first step. Then you move your compass to your paper. So this is your paper right here. This would be like, suppose this is problem 2 in the book. And problem 2 asks you to copy angle A. This is your work. You would take a straight edge and draw this line. Draw a line. And then you take your compass and you measure the opening of the length of that arc. And then you go to the line that you've drawn on your paper and you make an arc. But you're going to make it nice and big because you can see up here this is an obtuse angle, right? We have to measure how wide that arc is. So, sorry, trying to get the words out of the way here. No. Who was that sarcasm from? I'm not answering your questions today, Connor. Okay, so you make your arc, and then Jackie said you think you know what to do, so what are you going to do?
Never mind, it was a stupid idea.
Anybody?
Oh.
Lily.
You'd measure the other side, or the same, but, and then you go from the, never mind.
What do I do? Yeah.
You measure from one part of the circle, or the half circle, to the other part.
Yeah, you measure the opening of how wide that arc opens. So you have to see how wide the arc is. It's a little hard to do with this particular compass because I have to keep. So yours is going to be a little easier. That's one thing about the smartboard. It's not quite accurate all the time.
That was my idea.
But, oh, was it?
Yeah.
So you measure the opening. So, my opening here, it should be a perfect intersection there, but I can't, there's something about the smartboard, I can't get it to be perfect. But you can do that better. And then you take that same opening and you move your compass, and remember you always use your last intersection point. So we formed this intersection point here. And so now I'm going to swing an arc, and then I take a straight edge, right, and I draw a line. So as you see, this is my straight edge, even though it has measurements. You may. You're going to line up the intersection point with the vertex.
You just randomly have these options.
That is intelligent.
You just have curves on your paper. You guys are just going to have to adjust to having marks on your paper. Copied and angled. Raise your hand if that makes sense. Okay.
Can we make them like little curves so it's
Okay, that's a great question. If you take an arc like this one, I'm going to undo this in a minute, and if you put a really small arc here, you're going to have a huge error. So you want to do you want bigger, because think about when you measure a really teeny tiny, piece, a line or something. The smaller the line, the less accurate it can be. You want to go big. So I know that bugs some of you little super neat people, but life gets tough then. Okay, so if problem 3 in the book, pretend problem 3 in the book asked you to add angles, they would say construct angle A plus angle B, oops, or they could even say construct angle B minus angle A. I'm going to add 2 angles. You guys ready for this one?
Yes.
Almost. What's that?
Okay.
Y'all ready for this?
Okay, so to add an angle, I'm going to start with my compass again. I'm going to use that same mark in the book that they had, the blue mark, and I'm going to figure out the opening, get the right opening. I'll move, but I have to do that first. See, I'm measuring the opening?
Right.
And so, because that is what I need to put down here. So I put my compass on the new vertex. Okay there? And then I make that wide opening because I'm trying to copy angle A again. Understood? Okay, so then I'm going to pick my compass up and measure how wide the arc was. So I'm going to open it up and figure out where I am, but we're doing a new problem now. Yeah, but I need to now make it down here. So I have to copy the angle again, because I'm adding angle A to angle B.
First you have to copy the angle.
Right, so I have the opening, so now I'm going to put, remember you always use your last intersection point, which is right here. And I'm going to mark off a new intersection point. Barely made it. If I didn't make it, I would have had to extend that blue a little bit more.
Always perfect.
Thank you, Connor. I appreciate the compliment. Long overdue. So then I'm going to measure the angle, or draw the angle mark. So I have to line up my ruler with the 2 intersection points. It's lunchtime, that's why the walk is in Okay, so this is just angle A. We got that? Now I have to add angle B to it. I could add angle B down here, or I could add it over there. What do?
You copy the angle using the same vertex you use for the other angle.
Yeah, right? You do the same thing. So if I take my compass here, and one thing the book tends to do also is they usually use the same size arc. So I'm going to copy, do you want to go to the left or the below?
Right there, close.
So I'm going to just extend that arc So it looks like I'm a little off. They aren't exactly the same. Too bad. I thought they were. So that's my second arc, and so now I have to measure the opening
Oh, you can just like switch it.
of this. Now I'm measuring the opening of the new angle.
Wait.
I'll move in a minute. So, do you see I'm like measuring the opening there?
Why are you already measuring that?
Because I'm putting that new angle down here. So I'm going to use my last intersection point right there.
But I thought you have to do the where B, the point B is to where the.
I just did, that's this arc. Here, how about I do this? This arc,
Green.
can you tell the difference? Purple, blue, it's the same, like green.
But I can't see it.
It's not selected. Yeah, okay, see, that green line goes with this green line here. Okay?
Oh, that I couldn't see. I thought that was the whole blue.
Right, you got it?
Yeah.
Okay, and now I've measured that little red opening, so I'm gonna swing an arc down here. And that's the new angle.
It's a little angle.
Yeah, it's a little angle.
It's almost 180.
And remember, the smartboard has a little bit of fussiness. Sometimes I can't line it up perfectly, but you have better luck with your protractor. I mean, your compass.
You don't even have perfect view.
So, my new angle is right here. It's almost like 100. It's close, close to 180, but not exactly.
Nobody has to measure that with your.
No. So you can do a variety of different things. I think what most kids tend to like to do is they highlight the final answer with a highlighter. Just maybe a squiggly line works great, right?
Line at the moment.
How's a highlighter work? Good.
Highlighter works fine. It's just that angle's so close to 180 it's hard to see, but I would be able to see what your answer is. Understood?
Yeah.
Tyler, Mitchell.
So, did you measure how'd you get the red arc?
I placed my compass up here and I measured the opening of this arc. Okay, Adam.
At the end of the problem, not while we're solving it, do you actually want us to measure?
No measuring. We'll compare. If you want to compare answers, you can take patty paper and trace it and put it on somebody else's paper. If you want to compare angles, you could measure them with a protractor, but I'm not going to ask you to measure them usually. Okay. Yeah, plenty of time. Next thing. So that was all the stuff for 3-1. These are the two things for 3-2. Ready? So this is like 3.2. Should I save it and do them separate?
Yeah.